guys, it's Rashab, and this is day 2 of my Road to Civil War segment. And in this one, I'll be reviewing The Incredible Hulk, which was directed by Louis Leterrier and stars Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, William Hurt, and Tim Roth. Now, this movie is is not a sequel to the Ang Lee Hulk movie, which starred Eric Bana. This was actually another reboot of the Hulk movie. Of the Hulk, and I like one of the things I really liked about this movie is that at the beginning they sort of went over his origin kind of not fast, but they like skimmed over it. But at the same time, they did it in a way that it got the origin out of the way while also not like rushing it. So that was cool because we just had a Hulk movie a few years before, and I actually feel like this Hulk movie, like it's extremely underrated because not a lot of people like it, but I feel like this movie is actually pretty good. Not as good as some of the other MCU films, but it's still good and is extremely underrated. So, the Hulk has always been one of my favorite superheroes of all time because he's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One minute he's just a calm scientist just trying to make the world a better place. The next, he's a raging mess of emotions. So I've always found his character intriguing. And so, first of all, I really love Edward Norton as Bruce Banner and the Hulk. And no offense to Mark Ruffalo, but Edward Norton is actually my favorite Bruce Banner to date. Because I've really felt like he made Bruce Banner a more relatable character. He made you feel sorry for Bruce Banner because Bruce Banner, he was trying to make the world a better place, and he turned into the Hulk through an accident, and now he's being hunted by the military, and he can't really like just settle down anywhere because he's always on the run from the military, and at the same time he's trying to get rid of the Hulk because he doesn't want people to get hurt by the Hulk. So you feel sorry for him because his situation is so bad. And Edward Norton, I felt like provided them more for me, like a more relatable situation for me than Mark Ruffalo did. And yeah, I really wish they would have kept Edward Norton on as Bruce Banner because I enjoyed him as Bruce Banner. And I liked Liv Tyler as Betty because Betty is actually one of the few strong independent female characters that we have in superhero movies. Like, she wasn't a typical damsel in distress. She was actually trying to help Bruce in his quest to get rid of the Hulk, while at the same time trying to keep him away from her father, who's the general of the squad that was sent to hunt down the Hulk and bring him in. So she also has conflicting views with her father, who's played by William Hurt, and I really liked William Hurt as General Thunderbolt Ross. He really brought like the typical military personality, the tough guy that wants to get the job done no matter what happens, even if it means losing the person who matters most to him, who in this case is Betty, because Betty is actually in love with Bruce Banner and vice versa. But General Ross, he never approved of Bruce Banner to begin with, and ever since he became the Hulk, he's been trying to prove to Betty that Bruce Banner is a monster. So, yeah, and actually my favorite performance in this movie is the character that most people hate about this movie, and that's Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination. So, the Abomination is probably one of the few characters in the Marvel Universe who can go toe to toe with the Hulk and match him in terms of strength and ferocity. Because the Hulk is pretty much one of the strongest people in the Marvel Universe, and there's not many people who can beat him. Even Thor, who's a god, has trouble beating Hulk. So I was really happy that they brought in Abomination because it's someone who can take on the Hulk without losing quickly and would provide a challenge for the Hulk. And in this movie, he did. They saved the Abomination part for the end, for the final battle, but I really liked his character progression. Like, he started off as a soldier, an experienced soldier who was assigned to bring down the Hulk. And the more he sees of the Hulk, he decides that he wants to be the one who takes him down. He becomes a bit more cocky, I guess. and they actually give him a super soldier serum. I guess I don't want to say knockoff, but I can't think of a better word. So they had a knockoff of the super soldier serum that to give him ability like more like make him faster and stronger than a regular soldier, because going up against the Hulk is a dangerous thing. So you always have to be careful when you're up against him. So and it shows that as he gets more of the serum, as the movie goes on, they inject more and more of the serum into him, and he gets more power hungry, and eventually he gets a sample of Bruce Banner's blood, which is with the gamma radiation, and he manages to inject that into him, and when that mixes with the super soldier serum, he becomes the Abomination. So I really liked the throwdown at the end between the Hulk and Abomination, because it shows like this entire movie you showed of Bruce Banner's trying to get rid of the Hulk, and at one point it looked like he'd managed to find a cure for the Hulk, but that didn't last long. So in the end he decides to just accept it and use his power to help others. So he goes down to fight Abomination, and that throwdown is one of my favorite fights in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and probably one of my favorite superhero fights. It's sort of like a not a giant monster fight, but like a monster fight, because the Hulk and Abomination are monsters, um, in the sense of their destructive capabilities, their strength, and their ferocity. So the Hulk wasn't really. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is the Abomination was beating Hulk badly. I mean, the Hulk did manage to land some good blows, but Abomination was pretty much beating him, even when the military decides to come and help the Hulk. So that, like I said, the Hulk, there's not many people who can beat him. So seeing him in this condition where he's getting beaten badly, that was a nice change from like the other Hulk things we've had, the Ang Lee movie and the TV show they had in the 80s, I believe. And my favorite part of the fight was actually when Hulk delivers his iconic line, Hulk smash. And that's when the fight turns into Hulk's favor, because obviously the good guy has to win. That's actually the only thing I didn't like about this fight, is that Abomination is beating him in every aspect, but since the good guy has to win, they come up with some convoluted way. I mentioned this in my Iron Man review. When two characters are evenly matched, there's usually a convoluted way where the good guy wins, and that's basically what happens. Because Abomination was basically killing Hulk, and he was about to kill Hulk literally, but then for whatever reason, the General Ross he was trying to get his attention by shooting him, and instead of just finishing off the Hulk, he's like, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna take out the General, who's not really hurting me at all with the bullets or anything. And that gave Hulk the opportunity he needed to beat Abomination. So that's what I found kind of stupid about the fight. So, and then after the fight, Hulk goes off into hiding, and yeah. And we see in the post-credit scene, Tony Stark meets up with General Ross, saying, I'm putting a team together, and I basically want to recruit the Hulk. So that was nice to see, to show that Hulk is a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And now the stuff I didn't, that was the stuff I liked about the movie. Now the stuff I didn't like was the stuff I didn't like was, like I said, the way the final fight between Hulk and Abomination ended. That was pretty dumb. I also felt as if the chemistry between Liv Tyler and Edward Norton, it was kind of bland. I mean they were fine in terms of acting alone, but the chemistry between the two characters, it was kind of bland and at some points felt forced. Another thing I didn't like about the movie was the fact that General Ross, he went from totally just hating the Hulk to all of a sudden saying, oh, okay, yeah, just let him go. I mean, I get why he helped the Hulk, because the Hulk is trying to take out Abomination. Abomination is a bigger threat at the moment. But after the fight, he just lets Hulk escape and says, and it doesn't even look like they go after him at the end anyway. And even when Tony Stark comes to him and says, I want to put the Hulk on a team, the General sort of accepts it. So yeah, I felt that was just a bit quickly they resolved his situation with Bruce Banner kind of quickly. And at some points, the direction felt kind of bad. Some of the scenes were like the way the CGI and all, you could tell it was CGI. Um, and yeah, and I'm forgetting the actor who plays him, but the actor who played Doctor Blue, aka Samuel Stearns, I felt like his acting was really bad, comedic almost. So I'm glad he had a small part in the movie, but yeah, I didn't like him at all, and his acting was just terrible. So other than that, this was it was mostly great acting, mostly great direction. It was great, mostly edited well, apart from a few scenes you could tell were CGI. Um, the final fight, the resolution, I mean, it was a good fight, but the resolution was dumb. And now that I think about the post credit scene, as nice as it was to incorporate Tony Stark and saying the Avengers are actually happening now, I felt like, as I said about General Ross's character, it just kind of, I guess, ruined the character for me because General Ross is he has a personal vendetta against Bruce Banner, so it was just kind of disappointing to see him just give that vendetta up. And actually, fun fact: General Ross is actually returning in Captain America: Civil War, and it looks like he's gonna be the person who's gonna try to regulate all the superheroes. So it'll be interesting to see if anything about the Hulk comes up because the Hulk is not actually in this movie. So I wonder if the Hulk will play a role like indirectly on his characters and role in the movie. So other than that, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Like I said, this is an underrated movie, and I feel like more people should watch it and give it a chance. So, yeah, that concludes day two of my Road to Civil War segment, and that's my review of The Incredible Hulk. So, if you've seen the movie, what did you think of it? And who's your favorite superhero of all time? So whatever you think, just comment below, let me know. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.